Geraldo Rivera here in New York for the Daily Take.
Wilkes Booth was never arrested before he
Yeah, exactly.
Lincoln.
Now you got 3 would-be assassins for this president, right? And this is the latest. What are you thinking about today?
Well, I think, first of all, we can never lose sight of the fact that Trump has balls, excuse my language. He is cool under fire. He's courageous. And I believe he should get a special Purple Heart for being wounded in the service to his nation. I understand it was between his terms, but I think we could make an exception. He really does have what it takes in terms of his own physical courage is very, very impressive. Now, in terms of what has happened, it is staggering, perhaps not unexpected, but you have a situation where this very, very visible event seems well protected. I've been to half a dozen or more of them. There's plenty of visible security everywhere. But still, it's a Washington Hilton hotel. It's adjacent to the apartments where Isabella, my daughter, lived. You can go between the 2 buildings. This is the same building where Ronald Reagan, of course, famously was almost assassinated outside. He was wounded in 1981 on the street corner outside. It should be a protected, even more protected space. It is too obvious. Now we have watched this amateur penetrate almost to the inner sanctum. It is unforgivable to me that this venue is still being used because it is too easily gamed. Too easily, everyone doesn't know everyone who goes to this party. Someone could easily meld in. I understand they have metal detectors and all the rest. I've been searched plenty of times, but it's not the same as having a sealed building. Build the ballroom. If that's the lesson we take from this, then so be it. Build the damn ballroom.
So when we're trying to protect people at events like this, in any event, I guess, where the president is attending, seems to me, our FBI guest last hour was talking about this, there is a priority, and it starts with the president and the vice president. So after
As there should be.
Right, after the Reagan shooting, for example, they have new protocols where they come in the back and they, you know, because he was shot outside the hotel. But you wonder, when people say it wasn't safe maybe for the attendees. That's what they feel like. Whereas the authorities are saying the job was the protectees, like the president and the vice president. They argue they were safe. I don't know. That's what you know, Todd Blanche just said.
All I know is there is no more awesome feeling as a reporter than to be in the physical presence of someone high and mighty, like the president or the king or the head of state. Or and to me, that calls for a whole different reality, a whole different level of thinking. When you think of how history has been changed by Lincoln's assassination or McKinley or some of the others, it really has changed the course of humanity in some cases.
Certainly the Kennedy assassination.
Kennedy was amazing.
And Bobby Kennedy was Jr. was in the room.
And absolutely, and Martin Luther King as well. I add, although he wasn't strictly a presidential candidate. I think that everything has to be done to make sure that every conceivable threat is recognized. It is unforgivable that someone could go by train from California, Chicago, Washington, D.C., check into the hotel conveniently day before the event, and then have this, there's no background checks. How is it that there's no background checks done on the guests at the Washington Hilton during this profoundly significand event? How could that even happen?
Well, that would change, of course, at the White House. You have to have a background check.
And not only would you have a real body search of whoever was the guest in the hotel, but you would certainly not allow them the kind of freedom to assemble a weapon in their room that they could then physically bring down past the first line of security, you know, as if they were a trusted member of the staff.
Yeah, it was very easy to check in the day of. There were rooms available that, you know, some reporters checked into and the like.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.